trajectory of a first overall pick to the final pick in a draft, Peter. Which does this mean more to if they notch this one on their belt?
I still don't think people believe in Brock Purdy. I think that's fair to say that it's the case where Purdy is a good quarterback in the system. There's always like a contingency to the statement, like, well, Purdy's good, but it's because, or Purdy's good in that system, or Purdy's good because of Shanahan. I'd love to see the story if Brock Purdy's playing in a Super Bowl. I think that's legit. You can't question quarterbacks who get to that point. In this game, I'd love to see Brock Purdy get in a little bit of a shootout and have to go throw for throw with Jared Goff if it comes down to that and make a couple plays. I will say this, that final drive on Saturday night, say what you want for the first 58 minutes, Brock Purdy was nails. He doesn't have his top receiver in Deebo Samuel. He hits Ayuk across the middle. This is the honey hole shot. That's the honey hole shot right there to our guy Chris Conley. And then this one here, huge play. Finds his guy Kittle, and Kittle breaks a couple tackles, gets it. Of course, the touchdown would eventually beat him McCaffrey, but Purdy was nimble. Purdy was on it. Purdy, for 57 minutes, you could say, didn't have his best day. But when they needed him most, he was able to drive them 90 yards, got them into position, and they got the lead. That's nothing to do with system. That's nothing to do with other players. He was down his top guy in Deebo. He was down a lot of different elements throughout the game. And I thought he fought in the rain. If Brock Purdy gets to the Super Bowl, it's now the second straight year he's gotten his team to the conference championship. He's gone one round further. I think this means a lot for Brock Purdy. And I know people will still call him a game manager. And I think that part of my take guys were laughing. They should be called a game executive. Like, it's a little more complimentary. It's not as demeaning. Like, he's a game executive. I like that. That's funny. But at some point, he's also the quarterback of the best team in the NFC. And if that's the case, I think it goes a long way for Purdy. Goff was a first overall pick, has had many opportunities in big games. For Purdy, to see him get this moment and see him rise above, I think he'd be at least silencing for the moment a lot of different people who are critics of his game.
How about game COO, Chief Operating Officer?
It's good. I like that.
He operates.
It's better than manager. Manager is like the lowest of terms. That's right.
I'm right along with you, and I think, to your point, Jared Goff, he's played in that Super Bowl. He's had that moment, and Brock Purdy hasn't. Matter of fact, Brock Purdy was on the doorstep and couldn't finish that game last year for the 49ers, and I was looking at headlines. I Googled Brock Purdy this morning. One headline said, it's okay for Brock Purdy to be okay. The other one was, replace Brock Purdy with Justin Fields if they don't win this game. And we talked about it yesterday. We're like, if there was a brand new fan coming to the NFL, what storyline would you give him? What would you talk about? Imagine saying to a fan, all right, the San Francisco 49ers are in their conference championship game. They win this game. They're in the Super Bowl. But imagine this. Their quarterback, the leader of the team, the guy that goes out there and has the ball in his hands on offense every single play, who's an MVP candidate, who led the league in passer rating, who led the league in yards per attempt, fifth in yards, all these different statistics. He's not good. Not only is he not the best player, but he's not even good. How would a fan understand that? Wait, you mean he's done all of these things? He's an MVP candidate, up for the most valuable player, but yet they'll look at the Packers game and say, you know what? He struggled in that game. He couldn't find a way to get it going. The weather bothered him. All these different things and attributes and variables that they place on Brock Purdy to continue to beat him down, but yet he still rises and he still comes and he makes the plays to win the game for the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan was talking about this week a play where he doesn't send his guy in motion. He's making checks at the line of scrimmage. He's getting them in the right play, and he's operating, he's executing at a high level for this team. Say what you want about Brock Purdy's arm strength and all of those different things. He's finding a way to lead his team and win, and he's doing it at an extremely high level. So I definitely think it's Brock Purdy because there's so many doubters for him.
I'm asking the question, is the Brock Purdy game manager thing, is it a straw man at this point? Are there still people out there saying that, tweeting that, screaming that into microphones?
Yes. Yeah.
Are there?
I think there are. I think
have
a lot
you
of
seen
people see him when they lose. Everyone says, well, that's because it's Purdy. He's a manager. He can't win. He can't rise above.
I hear that. I just what does he have to do? If he gets to the Super Bowl again, depending on how this game goes, are they still going to say it? If he wins the Super Bowl, are they still going to say it? If you watch him play the games, he makes incredible plays in huge moments, on schedule, off schedule. He's just really good. I don't know who's still clinging to that, which is why I think the answer is Jared Goff, not Brock Purdy. I think the answer is Jared Goff, and for different reasons. Goff is proven, Goff is respected, Goff is liked. The rest of his life, if you get the Lions to the Super Bowl, you're an icon. And I'm talking about in Detroit. If you win the Super Bowl for the Lions, like, you're Isaiah. you're Iserman. You're Sweet Lou. Like, that. No one would ever do that.
Lou Whitaker reference.
I'm telling you, like,
let's go.
Al Trammell, whoever you want. Like, you are a god. It's so much more so that, look, Purdy, no fault of his own, They had a lot of Super Bowls there. They had a lot of great quarterbacks there. Colin Kaepernick played in a Super Bowl. Young, Montana, like the list is really long. There's just been a lot of greats. We got nothing. You are the one. And you see, like, the Tigers won a World Series back in the 80s, the Red Wings, the Pistons. Like, the Lions have Bupkis. If you are the face of that, and they're already chanting his name for getting them to a wild card game. If you get him to the Super Bowl, like, you're like the Detroit Pope. Like, it's an unbelievable thing. I think in that city, never mind the NFL, the hell with the rest of the NFL as far as Goff's concerned. You are a god for life. 50 years from now, you show up to Detroit with your family, and it's red carpet and rose petals wherever you walk. I think it is a huge deal. Him doing it for Detroit specifically, I think it's massive, massive.
Brock Purdy, 24 years old. People, and you're saying, Peter, that people don't believe in Brock Purdy. People have not been believing the Detroit Lions for like 2 times the amount of life that Brock Purdy has lived. Like, we're looking at 50-plus years of Detroit Lions negators. And to Kyle's point, the city would love him, the culture, the state of Michigan, for Jared Goff, I'm meaning. We did a really fun activity yesterday where we looked at highlights from the 1957 Lions-49ers game and the 1983 Lions-49ers game. They've played a lot in the regular season. Those are the most 2 recent playoff games. The 1983 game was quarterbacked by Joe Montana and Gary Danielson for the Lions. We had Gary Danielson on the show, and he spoke from a player perspective of what it means if Jared Goff accomplishes this in terms of guys that wish they were on the team.
All of us that played there wish that we could do what this team's doing. All of us. Guys like Doug English and Bubba Baker and the guys that I played with, they deserve, better reputation than they got. But you got to win. And Jared, I saw him do interviews, in this league, to get the reputation individually that you deserve, you got to win. And I think, this last game and the opportunity to play against the 49ers, it doesn't come along a lot. And, Dan Campbell's done a great job. And hopefully for the city of Detroit, they can finish it off.
And, no one is embodying that more than Jared Goff. Like, Gary said that you have to win. Goff's been in a Super Bowl, did not win, and he carries that weight on his backpack every time he takes the field. So I absolutely think the significance is greater for Goff in the city of Detroit. The significance of Sunday's game, though, not only for the Lions team. Again, let's circle back to this. Peter, the city of Detroit, you've been at games